Welcome to the Yessy's Designs Knitting Podcast, episode 32. My name is Yessy. I am the maker and the designer behind Yessy's Designs. And if you're new here on my channel, I share with you all the knitting that has happened since I recorded last. I also share maybe some things that we have done as a family, all the knitting that has happened or knitting related things that I think you would enjoy knowing about or watching. On this episode, I'm going to share with you a pattern release. I'm going to share with you a pattern that is going to be released soon. I'm going to share one WIP, my only active WIP right now, and one that I just started. I'm not officially working on it, so I'm not going to count it as a WIP, but I'll show you more in a moment. But besides all the knitting that you're going to see on this episode, there is more knitting that happened. I have been very busy. My hands have been very busy. I think in the last few weeks, so much has happened that I was looking for moments of solitude, maybe quiet reflection, a lot of activity as well. And I found that I was looking for pieces that just felt like my hands were busy, but I didn't have to be absolutely and completely focused on them. And these were pieces that were very, I don't want to say simple, but very classic and timeless. It was just knitting. So I made quite a few skinny scarves. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to leave on the description below everything, all the places where you can find me. I share them there. So I had some yarn that was gifted to me in my stash. I wanted to use it. And one day looking for some yarn, I saw it. So I thought, okay, why don't I make something? I didn't have that many little balls. It was like 50-gram balls of these beautiful pink and soft, full of texture yarn. And I said, okay, maybe I can make a skinny scarf. So I started making it, but I was also looking on Ravelry, and I came across the Sisters Scarf from Petite Knit. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I made the skinny scarf with this yarn, and then I found myself not looking to work on another project, but I welcome the quietness of working on these skinny pieces. And I went to my stash again. I found some yarn from Hobbii, two different weights. One I think it's worsted and the other one DK. So I made a striped version of the sister scarf, and I wanted some kind of so I added the stripes, which are included in the pattern. I made them differently, and I used 2 weights of yarn for that section. So the final result was very nice, eye-catching. So I did that. And then I went, again, on all these days, I'm looking for patterns, something to work on. I was also working on some other things on my computer. And I came across a yarn that it was new to me. I don't know how long ago this yarn was released. It's one from Lion Brand yarn called Aire or Air. Now I forgot if I just translated that in my head or if it's actually called Aire or Air. So I saw this color. I'm going to be putting pictures here. Maybe I started putting the pictures already. And I saw this color, like a very soft blue, and I loved it. So I ordered one ball of this yarn, and I made another skinny scarf. And all of these projects happened during snowstorms that we had. As you know, we have been having so wrong temperatures. It's been so bitterly cold, so much snow, ice. It was just a mess in the sense that some days we lost power, we couldn't go out, but at the same time, and windy. So it was very complicated. But during the times that it was snowing, as always, it feels so very peaceful. So a lot of days we just had to be at home. There was no way anybody could be out. And we did a lot of things as a family here. So these projects that didn't need too much concentration, were very welcome. They were very, very welcome. So I enjoy working on these patterns, and these are now at one of the local shops that holds some of my pieces. So I did that. I also had a pattern release. So I'm going to show this to you. This is the Circus Scarf. I worked on this scarf using a pre-city from Hobby. So Hobby, generously, they sent me the yarn needed to make this project. But as always, you have all the yarn and you still need this one other color. So I purchased another color and another color I had in my stash because a pre-city is one of those yarns that are just so soft and the stitch definition is just so beautiful. I have worked with this yarn before, but I have never used it in color work, so I was very curious to see how that would work out, and I am very, very pleased with the result. So this is a colorful piece, as you can see, and the pattern is already available on my Etsy, my Ravelry, on my website. It includes a chart with the colors that I use, but it also includes a chart where you can add your own colors. So if you want to make it in pastels, in neons, or in whatever other colors that you would like, you have that chart in there. So you can add your own colors. This was such a fun piece to have on the needles, but from the very beginning, it felt very special. I worked on it with my daughter. My daughter currently is a huge fan of the amazing digital circus. This is a show that was also new to me. She loves it. We have watched it with her. It's just like 7 episodes, I believe. And one of the characters that she likes is Zobel. I think I'm saying the name wrong, or Zubel, something like that. I forgot how she told me how to say it, and I forgot it. But that character was the color inspiration for this scarf. It's an infinity cowl. This scarf, it's bold, playful. My daughter and I, we wanted this scarf to feel fun, to feel expressive, but still wearable. One of my favorite things about this pattern is the color possibilities. Let me know in the comments, will you make this circus scarf in vibrant tones, pastels, neutrals? What colors will you use? Just let me know in the comments. I'm going to read them. Now, if you are feeling uninspired lately, I hope that today's episode reminds you that color and creating can add so much to your making. So I hope you love working on this scarf, that you consider having it on your needles as you decide on what projects to work on. So needless to say, after working with on this pattern full of colors, I needed some things that were more neutral and something that didn't require that much concentration, because yes, you're following a chart in here, so you have to be mindful on where to place the colors and all of that. So this is my pattern release that I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to show you one whip. So after that, I was looking for neutrals, and I had on a basket one of the whips that I started. I believe it was in last October, as I was working on the Milagros sweater knitting pattern release. I started working on this one with my test knitters, and the only thing that I needed to add were the sleeves. So I picked up that sweater, looking for those neutral tones, and also looking to start working on those few whips that I have here and there, and just finish them and hopefully start wearing them. So I'm going to show you how this Milagro sweater is looking so far. If you're familiar with Lion Brand yarn, then you know that this yarn is Fisherman Wool. this is one of my favorite yarns. Now, a lot of people, including myself, we think that this is not the softest yarn. Actually, it feels a little bit rough, a little bit itchy. But I have worked with this yarn before, and I find that as you wear the pieces and you wash them, and then you wear them and wash them, there is a point where it feels less rough to say. Let's say, I don't know if maybe that's the right word, but a little, yeah, a little less rough. It's never gonna be a soft yarn. It's never gonna be one of those yarns that you're talking about it and you say, oh, this fisherman wool is so soft. It's not. But it has this rustic feel. It also feels like, yes, you're working with wool. So in this kind of winter that we are having, and I have again used this yarn before. I have pieces that have been made in this yarn. It doesn't feel bad at all. Actually, feel it makes you feel warmer. And I don't know, I like the rustic look and the rustic feel of this yarn. The stitch definition is really, really nice on this yarn as well. So the only thing that I have to finish on this sweater right now is the cuff of the second sleeve. Then I have to weave in the ends, block it, and wear it. So I was really looking forward to finish this piece so I can wear it as we are still having very, very cold temperatures. So this is the only WIP that I have today to show you, the Milagros sweater. And also that pattern, you can find it on my Etsy, on my Ravelry, and on my website. The original pattern, the original sample is this one that I have on my mannequin. This is net with blue sky fibers. This is a beautiful, beautiful yarn called Skyland. And I feel that every single yarn that I have had on my needles from blue sky fibers is just the most beautiful, beautiful thing. It's not just the rich colors or the different colorways that they have. It's the feel. It's just a beautiful, beautiful yarn. And as you know, if you have been here before, I'm one of the makers for Blue Sky Fibers, and I'm always looking forward to see what is the next yarn that is going to be my needle. So this Milagros sweater made with Skyland, it's so soft. I love the feel. I love the drape that it has. Now this one on Fisherman is not having that drape, but it's gonna give me that rustic feel that I was also looking for. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna show you is a pattern release that I don't know when it's gonna happen. So the pattern is all ready. I just have to add one thing that it was missing, very simple, just something about the yarn amounts. But after that, it's all ready to go. So I'm gonna put my microphone on the side and I'm gonna show you how it looks like. This is a baby blanket that I made. It's already finished. I made with Mega Ball Aran from Hobby. This is one of my favorite acrylic yarns. It's very soft. It has a beautiful stitch definition as well, and I love the variety of colors on this yarn. So this design, I designed this piece a few months ago, still in winter, or maybe it was late fall, when I designed that. I was looking for something that was just nets and pearls. I don't remember if at the time I already finished the Circus Scarf or not, but I think after all of the color work and everything, I was yearning again for neutral, something that was more, again, I don't know what word to use, simple? I don't know, help me. Something that was maybe more relaxing, I would say, something that felt more calm. So something with nets and pearls. And then I was looking through my designer's page on Ravelry, and I saw that the last time that I released a baby blanket was a long time ago. I think it was at the beginning of COVID. I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. And that was the only baby blanket that I had in there. And And I was looking at it, and maybe we don't need another baby blanket, maybe we do, but just looking at it, it made me go back to those times when I designed that baby blanket, and back to when I started knitting, which was actually inspired by my own baby. So something started, um, I started to feel something like, okay, I think I would like to design another baby blanket. And I think that in these times that feel so hard and so uncertain, and there is just so much going on, a baby blanket can give you the feeling of working on something and thinking of that little baby that it's going to enjoy it, thinking of the emotion that the parents or the family are feeling with a new baby to welcome. Is just such a happy occasion, that I thought, as I started again thinking of my own eating journey inspired by my own baby, that when I was pregnant, thinking of when I designed that baby blanket around the time when a very close friend of mine was gonna have her baby. It's just all of these emotions that make you feel so excited and hopeful. So I think we need a lot of that in general. And I started sketching, and I sketched so much. So I was very clear in the fact that I just wanted knits and pearls. I wanted something that, not something that would be very easy in the sense of, let's say that it's just stockinette, for example, but something that made you feel like I want to continue working on it. This is something, the feel that you get when you're in color work and you are like, okay, I'll stop at the next row because I want to see how the design comes more alive with this new color that I'm using, or something. So I wanted that feel with this baby blanket. Like I want to go through the next section because I want to see how the design continues to take shape. So the Snowfall baby blanket came to life when I sketched this design. I was like, okay, I think this is it, and I started working on it. I was very mindful. How am I feeling knitting on this? And I loved it. It gave me a lot of peace. It gave me those moments of calm that I was yearning, that I was looking for. It gave me what I wanted, which is I want to do the next section and I want to see how it looks. And I hope that you feel that when the pattern comes out. I really hope that you feel that for yourself, for yourself. So the Snowfall baby blanket was named, actually didn't take too much time to think. Usually I name my patterns based on family members, maybe friends, or a place that has some kind of meaning to me or to my family. And when I designed this one, it was like snowstorm after snowstorm, and more snow and more snow and more snow. And it was I needed mostly here in my studio. So I have a big window here. So I kept looking out, and it seemed like a lot of the time that I was knitting it, which didn't take long, it was always snowing. So I looked at it and worked on this, and then I just thought, let's just name it the Snowfall baby blanket. So I hope that you enjoy working on it. Again, it's just knits and pearls. It's a beautiful piece that I hope that you make with a lot of love, that when you give it away to somebody that has a baby in their life, that they can feel all the love that you put into making it. So this is gonna be released, I hope soon. I don't know exactly when, because at the same time that I was working on it and so much was happening, I was thinking also of that sense of community. So something that I have not done before, it's a KAL. I haven't hosted a knit along. I have been part of a lot of knit alongs, but I haven't hosted one myself. So I thought, this pattern made me feel this way from the moment I designed it to the moment that it was finished. And every time I look at it, I have the same feeling. So I thought, what don't I plan a knit along? So I have been trying to put everything together. Maybe I am complicating myself, I'm not sure. But every time I would like to have it in a month, like in the duration of it, a month. So 4 weeks of working on this pattern, making so on this design. So this design took me, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks to make it, like not working for a long period of time. So I thought maybe 4 weeks is gonna be enough time, either to finish it or just to get you very far in the pattern, in the design making. So I am planning the 4 weeks. That includes, what I would like, the newsletters, like sending one newsletter a week. These were the times when I when I thought, oh wow, like a lot has to be planned for this. Or again, I am complicating myself, so trying to figure out what to write for the 4 newsletters. So if you're not a newsletter subscriber, I'm going to put that also in the link here on the description below so you can subscribe to the newsletter. So once a week, you would get some kind of prompt or some motivation to keep going as you are working on this Snowfall baby blanket. Thinking about prices, thinking, ways to get in touch with other makers, like who would like to participate in giving a prize, for example, then ways that I could serve them better, promoting these makers that potentially would be giving prizes for these knit-alongs. So I am planning that in a virtual version, so something that I would have on Instagram, and an in-person one that I would potentially have at one of the local shops that holds my work. That one makes me a little bit more nervous. Again, that would be the first time that I have one in any way, but I think online it would be, I don't know, more relaxing, I think. But I'm at the same time, I'm excited. I'm trying to get a little bit out of my comfort zone as well, and I would love to knit this pattern with other knitters. This is the skills for this design are, casting on, purl, knit, bind off, using circular needles, following a chart. So I put it as an advanced beginner knitter since we are gonna be following the chart. So I look forward to help other knitters that maybe are not quite there yet. Let's say how to read the chart, how to feel comfortable following the instructions. So I would like to do that. The more I thought of it, and the more I was like, oh my, this is a big undertaking in person. The more I thought, let's just, like, at this point, I'm like, let's just do it and let's enjoy it, knitting it with other ones that are also trying to learn maybe new techniques. Maybe this is the first baby blanket that they're gonna knit, or maybe they have a baby in their life and they are excited to work on this and give it as a gift. All the goodness that might be happening as we work on this. So I'm planning it, and let's see. I know that maybe at the end of the month I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe I don't do this part anymore, or maybe I would add this on the next knit along. Let's see. It's gonna be a learning experience for me as well. And of course, I'm gonna welcome the feedback of the ones that are gonna be participating. Hopefully, some of you would like to participate on it. No pressure at all. But I would love to knit this together with all of you. So my plan is to use some of those yarns that I have up there to make one for the knit along online and another one for the knit along in person. So I will be sharing with you everything that has happened, that will be happening once the time comes. So this is it. This is the Snowfall baby blanket. And when I finished it, I remember feeling like I could be making more of these, and I don't think I would be tired of it. It's so engaging. So I have these colors over here. for future blankets. And I am just thinking, I would like to make one in a minty green or another one just in yellow. And I don't know, I think at this time I'm not even going to say in my maker journey, but at this time as a person, as a mother, as a homeschool mama, as a wife, as a person that has to do so many things, I am welcoming the pieces that just give me that feel of this is relaxing. I want to keep going and I don't mind making the same thing again and again and again. And I know that this you might know about me from before. If you have been following my work for a while, I make a lot of Magdalena beanies, for example. So I'm not the kind of person that is just gonna make one or two or three samples of the same pattern. Anything that makes me feel joyful, relaxed, calm, or all the good feeling, I would continue making that again and again. So I thank you for sticking around, as maybe you have seen many Magdalena beanies on my feed or shared anything. So thank you for being here. Now the last piece that I'm going to share with you is a piece that has me actually very, very excited. So again, I designed the circus scarf, a lot of color, a lot of color. It was so fun to see my daughter putting all of these colors together. She made the chart. So I taught her how to use Stitch Fiddle. That's the program that I use to make my charts. And it was just such a joy from beginning to end. After that, I went through solid colors or neutrals. And now I'm going to be back to colors, to using a lot of colors. So Malabrigo sent me this yarn to design a pattern. And I have been sketching so much. The yarn is just so beautiful that I just feel I want to make it justice. So I'm going to show this to you. I have this yarn here on this basket. And again, if you have known me for a while, you know that when I have a lot of colors and I'm going to work on a fair isle design, this is the technique that makes me feel a lot like home, like Colombia. So I wanted to put some of that on this design. So I'm not gonna, like I said before, I'm not gonna say this is a whip yet, because in here according to my measurements, I needed this many amount of stitches for the custom. So I just did that and a couple of other rows, I believe. And now I'm gonna take it off and make sure that that's kind of the width that I want for the cowl. It's gonna be a cowl. But look at this beautiful color. So this is Malabrigo Vientos. And they sent me, let me show you that color in a skein. Look at this. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. Let me see if here it's the name of it. Let me see, this is bulky yarn. I don't think I said that. It's 100% superwash merino wool. Oh yeah, the color is like right here. It's Frank Ochre, number 035. And they also sent me this color. Let me look at the name first to tell you. It's Sea Slug. But look at all of these colors on the skein. This has so much color, and this skein makes me so very excited to work on this design. And the last color is, let me see the name, is called Forest. And it's this beautiful, like emerald green, like darker than emerald, I would say. It's such a beautiful color. So these three colors are going to be part of the new design that as of now doesn't have a name, but that it's going to be Colombia inspired as well. I hope that you like the color work. Again, I sketch so many designs thinking of back home, and it's going to be a geometrical design. And when I sketched the last one, when I said, okay, this is it, I'm excited. I'm excited to work on it. It's not going to be a hard pattern at all. As even though it's 3 colors, it's going to be a ferrule design. It's still, I know I haven't made it yet, but it's still going to give me that feel of fun, calm, relax. To me, thinking of back home, to you, I hope that you find, with whatever 3 colors that you decide to use for this pattern, I hope it gives you the same sense of, oh, this is fun, and at the same time, it feels relaxing. So it's gonna be a regular cowl. I was thinking of maybe making it a Mobius cowl, but I said I'm just gonna make a regular cowl and enjoy the process of using these 3 beautiful colors on a small piece that is going to keep us warm. And I think as we are, what I hope, almost done with all of these snow and storms and the wind and trees down and no power and all of that, it's going to be a nice piece to transition to spring. So we have been in with the wind chill and everything, like minus 30 something Fahrenheit. It's been just so wrong. And this week we went to 40 degrees one day, and that felt glorious. So on a weather that is like 30, 40s, like upper 30s, 40s, low 50s, I think a cowl like this one would be a very nice transitional piece. So this is all I have to share with you today. I didn't write too much in my notes, so I hope that I said everything I thought of sharing with you. But let me know in the comments, again, what colors will you use for your circus scarf? Let me know what is that project, what is that pattern that is making you feel calm or relaxed, or what is that pattern that right now is giving you all the feels. Share that with me. I love to see other patterns. I go not on a regular basis, but I go kind of often on Ravelry and see what are the new patterns and what are you enjoying to make according to their top 20, things like that. I love to see the podcasts where they share, I made this pattern for Ravelry, and a lot of times I'm like, what designer is that? Like, that is so beautiful. And again, maybe now that I mentioned the podcasts, I also find myself watching more podcasts now, knitting podcasts. Well, other podcasts too, but talking about knitting podcasts more than before. And I'm going to share with you, well, I have a few. Maybe I should have an episode where it's just like my favorite podcast. A lot of my favorite podcasts might be your favorite podcast as well. But just to mention a few without going into detail, some of the podcasts, because maybe I would go in detail in a future episode, but right now, some of the podcasts that are giving me all the feels are Skein of Dreams, Young Folk Knits, Wool and Wine, The Knitting Posse, Knitting Together with Kim and Jonah. Those are 5 of the podcasts that I love to watch. There are more. There are more than 5. But just to share with you 5 right now that make me so happy to watch are these 5. So if you're not familiar, I'm going to leave the link of this podcast on the description below, just in case you have not heard of these podcasts and the makers or the designers that are behind them. So if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to like, to subscribe, leave me a comment. This helps my channel grow. And I see you next time. In the meantime, happy making and happy knitting.